Since 2019, as a request from a good friend of mine who's involved with the opera, I've been collaborating with the Florida Grand Opera. What I would do is, let's say they were doing Frida, then I would do an exhibit in the green room that had my modern art interpretation of the opera. And so sometimes I did it just my work, sometimes I included a bunch of different artists. So that became a link between the opera and this very frou-frou environment to Miami's art scene. Then the pandemic hit and all of that changed, and come last year, the end of 2023, I get a call from the same friend and said, we need you again. The old director's out, we have a new director, she starts tomorrow, can you be there tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know what, let's see. So I went to meet the new director, Maria Todaro, and she just like, well, how can you help? I had just come back from the Arctic Circle, and Nima was so kind as to help me edit some of it and kind of put it together so that it was cohesive and nice, and we could put it on film festivals. So just out of the top of my head, I just like, I want to do a documentary. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, what about? It's like, people need to know. I want to open the doors so that people, this perception that opera is just for certain people, or rich people, rich white people of a certain age, you're going to die if that happens, if that continues. So I felt immediately, if we open the door to this, maybe we can start a conversation. So I come out of there, called Nima, I was like, please, I need help. Will you do this with me? And which of course he said yes. And then we set out to get the funds, and off we went. It all happened like in 2 months. And we started filming January of 2024, and it was organic. First, we started with the open door, jump in anytime you want, interviewing people that were working there and their thoughts. They were incredibly honest, all of them. The good, the bad, and the ugly, it was really good. And then we started like, but wait a minute, this is, as we went learning the big problems, we need to go to Italy, we need to do this, we need to really make it worldwide. And it just, all of it, it was like it was meant to be. Even writing, I wrote an email to Nicoletta Pavarotti saying that, you know, this would really add to our film. She was incredibly kind. Yes, come on over to Modena. They opened the doors. It was an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, speaking of when it was meant to be, because anyone that is in this industry, they know like how hard it can be. Like the whole financing, everything about filmmaking, when it's not meant to be. There are so many projects that were in development right now, and sometimes it can take years and it doesn't go anywhere. But with this project,
2 months?
Yeah, that's very fast for any project. Obviously, we got really lucky with like our executive producer financing it, with all the people. You mentioned Nicoletta being so generous right away, like come over, because again, that conversation can take months. I'm available September 2026. But everything kind of worked out that way, because I saw my very first opera with Leonor 3 weeks before we started. I had never seen an opera in my life. So she took me to the first one, and I like the fact that she obviously had way more experience, and I was experiencing it for the first time. And to be honest, like I wasn't a huge fan even after I saw the first one, and I told her, I'm like, it's nice, I appreciate the art form, I appreciate the genre, but it's not necessary for me, which is not supposed to be for everyone. So that conversation right there also showed us that our point of view is actually gonna complement each other, that we're coming from two perspectives on this topic, which is always good. And the whole part about when we started like just interviewing some people from Florida Grand Opera and grow, which is my favorite part of documentary filmmaking, is the discovery part. That you start with something and the ideas start developing, because then you start discovering, and as you do, you capture what you're learning on camera, and then you can tell a good story.